Namaste, Guruji.
नमस्ते नमस्ते। ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Namaste everyone, and with you all a very happy Purnima today. Some of you might have attended some pujas also. With that, we pray to all the Guru, the entire Guru Parampara, to continue to bless all of us with the study of Vedanta texts, and then gain in this life itself what we are all aiming to gain. Okay. So with those wishes, let us start today's class on the Guru Purnima day.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you. व्याघ्रबुद्ध्या विनिर्मुक्तः बाणः पश्चात्तु गोमतौ न तिष्ठति छिन्नत्येव लक्ष्यं वेगेन निर्भरम्. So we are discussing the special law of karma applicable to a jnani. What happens to the threefold karmas of a jnani, namely sanchita karma, agami karma, and prarabdha karma? And we saw that a jnani's sanchita karma is sublated or falsified totally. Jnani does not acquire agami karma because he doesn't have kartrutva bhavana. However, we also saw that the prarabdha karma of a jnani will continue to be there even after jnanam. Jnanam cannot falsify or destroy prarabdha karma. And an example was given. Just as a released arrow will continue its journey until it hits its target, the release of the arrow itself might be done because of some misconception. And in the middle of the arrow's journey, that misconception may also go away. In the example, the misconception that it is a tiger, the hunter is under the misconception that he has seen a tiger and he has fired the arrow. But during the journey of the arrow, that misconception goes away and the right knowledge that it is a cow may come. But the arrow released at the time of misconception will continue to travel even after the misconception goes away. So the prarabdha karma has started at the time when the jnani was an ajnani. He was under the misconception about Jiva, the nature of Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. He did not have any idea. I should not say he did not have any idea. He had a wrong idea, erroneous idea, mistaken idea about Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. That time the Prarabdha karma has started. Now all that misconception by Jnanam has gone away. But that will not negativate the Prarabdha karma which has already started giving its results. So the activated prarabdha cannot be stopped. It will continue. Therefore, the jnani will have prarabdham. And we should remember that most important point, all these discussions on the prarabdha karma of a jnani are from an ajnani's standpoint. That we must remember. Here we are looking at a jnani from an ajnani standpoint, and we are saying that jnani's prarabdha karma will continue. And continuity of prarabdha karma means continuity of all the three shariram. Stula, Sukshma, Karana shariram, they will continue. So a jnani will be alive, and not only that, a jnani will continuously face challenges from prarabdha papam. No doubt he will have good experiences also, because the prarabdha may have lot of punyam also. In fact, the very fact that he got jnanam during this life is because of the punyam. Many people will worship the jnani, give him wonderful things rather. So prarabdha punyam will thus give nice experiences. And so too, the prarabdha papam will create continuous challenges at the body level, at the sense organ level, at the mind level. Like if the body has got diabetes, eye problems may come. At the sensory level, at the mental level, continuous challenges will be there. And these are all the corollary of prarabdham continuity. Now, this continuity of the prarabdham has got certain plus points and also certain minus points. It's a mixed bag. There are good things and there are not so good things also. We will see the advantages first. The greatest advantage of continuity of the prarabdham is the survival of the jnani after jnanam. And because of such a survival of a jnani, the Guru Parampara is possible. If jnanam also jnanam destroys prarabdham also, what will happen? A jnani may be attending a session, and at that point in time he got jnanam and he will fall dead because prarabdham is gone. When he got jnanam, prarabdham is gone, so his physical body will fall dead. That means what? There will be no living jnanis. In fact, there is one school of thought, which of course we don't accept. That is called Sadhyo Muktivada. That school of thought, they believe that Jnanam gives instant Videha Mukti itself. So no Jnani will survive. So no Jnani Gurus will be there. Only Ajnani Guru will be there. And they will only transfer Ajnanam. There will be Andha Parampara, blind leading the blind. Therefore, the greatest blessing of Prarabdham continuity is the Guru Parampara is possible. Not only the Gurus can teach, but they can serve as living proof that moksha can be gained by Jnanam alone. Otherwise, there will be no proof. Everybody will have their own theory for moksha. So the Jnani Gurus, they can serve as a model for Jivan Mukti. By looking at them, by observing them, by being associated with them. How many people have actually changed their entire life by adopting, by being in association with Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, one of the greatest jnanis we have come across. So what is Jivan Mukti? We will know. Practically, we will know what is Jivan Mukti. Jivatah Purushasya Mukti. While living itself, you get moksha. So living jnanis are possible because prarabdham is not destroyed by jnanam. Living liberation is possible, which is a great blessing. And not only that, the jnani Jivan Mukta himself can enjoy the glory of liberation. Experience that glory of liberation. He can revel in the glory of his real nature as Brahman. Not only he can claim the glory of Nirgunam Brahman, he can also claim the glory of Sagunam Brahman, Ishvara also. So, by invoking his glory as Brahman, both as Nirgunam and Sagunam Brahma, Vishwarupa Vibhuti he can enjoy, Jivan Mukti Sukham he can enjoy, he can jump with joy. In and around everywhere in the cosmos, he will only see himself as Ishvara. So the Jiva Ishvara Bheda will not be there for a Jnani, and he will revel in that Ananda. That's what Krishna said. Yasvat marati te, yasmat marati reva syat, atmatriptascha manavah, atmanyeva cha santushtah, tasya karyam na vidyate. Beautifully says, Krishna is explaining what is Sthita Prajna. Who is a Sthita Prajna? Therefore, by continuity of prarabdha, the enjoyment of Jivan Mukti is possible. Because Atma by itself can never claim I am the glorious Atma. Atma is all wonderful, but remember, to claim that I am the Atma, a body is required. Sense organs are required. Brahman can never claim its glory by itself. And therefore, Jivan Mukti is a blessing. Jivan Mukti is possible. Enjoyment is possible. Guru Parampara is possible. All these advantages are there by continuity of the Prarabdha. But there are certain disadvantages also. What are they? Now, because of continuity of Prarabdha, Jnani too has got a body, mind, sense complex, which is governed by the Prarabdha. So, however great a Jnani may be, Prarabdham will continue to attack without warning because it is Adrishtam. Even a Jnani cannot know what is Prarabdha, what the Prarabdha of his body is. So, just as an Ajnani goes through varieties of physical, sensory, and emotional challenges, Jnani will also continuously face all these physical, sensory, and emotional challenges. And that is why Krishna talks about in the second chapter of the Gita, Dukkeshu Anudvigna Manaha Sukeshu Vigata Spriha. Another quality of a sthira prajna. He talks about the painful experiences of a Jnani. Jnani will have painful experience. That's why he says Dukkeshu Anudvigna Mana. His response will be different. That's a different matter. But he will be subjected to dukkha's also, painful experiences also. He cannot ward off painful experiences. Biological pains will be there. All because of prarabdha. Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi himself, we know, suffered from cancer. We know Puja Swamiji, what all kind of physical pain he used to undergo. Daily dialysis, so many medicines. In fact, he was fed up with it. So there are disadvantages of continuation of the body, mind, sense complex after jnana. So pluses are there, minuses are there. But then on balance, if we see, even though both advantages and disadvantages are there, the advantages are more. Because jnanam makes the jivan mukti sukham greater and more enjoyable. And his jnana abhyasa, regular invocation of jnanam through nididhyasanam, they will increase the jivan mukti sukham. And even though prarabdham will give suffering, as I said, jnani has got a means of handling them. As Krishna said, dukkeshu anudvigna manaha. The first powerful weapon that he has got is sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. He has acquired vairagyam. Further, he has reinforced that vairagyam through jnanam. He has developed titiksha, whatever be the pain. He has developed such a pain-bearing capacity. And that is why, there is a story. Of course, I don't know, I'm not personally read, I've been told, when Ramana Maharishi's doctors advised that because of the cancer, he has to undergo surgery, and for which he has to be administered this anesthesia, he said, no, no need for anesthesia. You cut and take that part away. I don't have problem. No, it will be very painful. Oh, I'll bear the pain, not a problem. Titiksha, high degree of titiksha, he has got. So the jnana abhyasa will increase the jivan mukti sukha. And the vairagya abhyasa will decrease prarabdha dukkha. Therefore, always ananda is more than dukkham. In fact, dukkham becomes insignificant for a jnani because of the jivan mukti sukham. I mean, one good example which Swami Paramathananda gives is, see, during the day, the sun appears in the sky all the time, isn't it? And when the sun is there, all the stars, even though they are in the sky, they are as good as non-existence. In fact, many of these stars may be much, much more powerful than the sun. But then all the stars as though disappear because their light is insignificant in the presence of sunlight. Similarly, Jnana Ananda is like sunlight in whose presence all prarabdha dukkham, like the stars in the presence of sunlight, they become insignificant. And that's why Krishna goes on to say, na dukkenu guruna api vichalyate. Then all people ask, what? A jnani will say, so what? Thus, continuity of prarabdham is more advantageous than disadvantageous for a jnani. He can confront the worst suffering and remain stable. And that is what is Sthitaprajna Lakshanam, etc. is all about. So this is one point that we have to note about a jnani, about the continuity of the prarabdham for a jnani. So what it means, sadhana chatushtaya sampatti is extremely important. We have earlier seen that the emotional problems are handled by sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, especially by developing vairagya, by avoiding raga dvesha. Because family attachments creates varieties of problems. In fact, many people, they will say openly also, I don't mind my problems. But when children, grandchildren, they have problems, we are not able to withstand. And that is what, Krishna wants in the third chapter. Asaktirana bishwangaha putradhara grihadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu. 13th chapter it will come. Gita students will come to this 13th chapter. So, yes, as a sadhaka itself and the karma yoga stage itself, one has to practice detachment from children, grandchildren, etc. How to do that? Very simple. This is possible only if the sadhaka sees everything as Bhagavan, as Bhagavan's creation, sees his children, grandchildren as Bhagavan's children. Bhagavan will take care of it. Why should I worry? But then, of course, realistically speaking, all these advices are all very good to hear, but not easy to practice. And for a grihastha, who is a sadhaka, practice of family detachment is very, very, very difficult, is rarely followed. So these questions keep arising again and again. Why do our worries not go away even after studying Prasthana Trayam? I have done 20 years, 25 years. I have read the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra I have studied. But we must remember the most important qualification for a Grihastha Jnani is Vairagya. Otherwise, what will happen? Not only his prarabdham will affect him, the prarabdham of children, grandchildren, other family members, everything will affect him. When children are not well or they are undergoing some difficulties, this fellow will have emotional problems. Therefore, Vairagyam is the only weapon for emotional problems. See, if some of a neighbor's child or some child not known to us, if some person is suffering or having a problem, we don't worry about that too much, isn't it? We may even dismiss it as okay, it is their prarabdham, what to do. We may have sympathy, we may try to help and all that, but we don't worry. Emotionally, we are not disturbed. But when the same thing happen in our family to our children, we are totally disturbed. Why? Because it is my children, my grandchildren, my family, my spouse. It is this mamakara, ahankara and mamakara combined which dilutes the vairagya. And that's why, even in Vivekachudamani, Shankaracharya, while discussing Jivan Mukti in the verse number 85, If you look back, he says, Vartamanepi dehesmin chaya vat anuvartini. So the body continues in the present, Vartamane api. Wherever the Jnani travels, his body will continue like chaya, like a shadow, it continues. And this chaya example has a very, very important significance also. Chaya or shadow is mithya, isn't it? Appears to be there, but actually, when you go near it, it vanishes. Well, suppose you are standing in a place, sun is behind you, you can see your shadow. Is it real? You know it is not real. It will imitate everything that you do. If you raise your hand, the shadow also will, hands will go up in the shadow. If you swing your body, that will also swing. But it all things that shadow will do, which you do. But it is, you know very well, it is not real. It is mithya. What is mithya? Appears to be real, but not real. Similarly, Jnani remembers that his body is also mithya. Appears to be there, but it is not there. And not only he knows that the body is mithya, ahanta mamata bhava jivan muktasya lakshanam. We saw he has practiced detachment from his own body because of again the vairagyam only. So vairagyam is such an important weapon, not only for you to disassociate, or I would say get unattached to the people around you. It also is very, very helpful for getting rid of the attachment towards your body, mind, sense complex. So when it is that, what to talk of children, grandchildren, etc. So therefore, prarabdham will be affecting one or the other member of the family. As we grow old, so many grandchildren we will have all over the world. They will have their own prarabdha issues. They will fall sick. There will be health issues. They may be doing well also. So if I am going to have strong abhimana towards my children, my grandchildren, etc., not only my prarabdha will affect me, their prarabdha also will affect me. So without vairagyam, all these emotional challenges cannot be solved. Jnani knows that, Jnani remembers that, and if he is a grahastha, he is able to see all of them as Bhagavan's creation. Everything happens according to one's karma. He will clearly understand. As Krishna said in the second chapter, Matra sparshastu kaunteya शीतोष्ण सुख दुखदा आगमा पायनो नित्या है tam titikshasva bharata. He said, all this will happen. Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, coming, going, birth, death. Everything is anitya. Therefore, what Krishna says, ta titikshasva. You have to learn to bear with all these things. How do you do that? Developing vairagyam. Children will be there, they will grow up, they will marry somebody. You cannot start complaining, oh, We are from a Dikshidhar family, we are from that high class family, very, very learned family, and you see what my grandson has done. He has gone and got married to some person, grandson, granddaughter, whoever maybe. Affects, it pains. Why? Ahankara and Mamakara. And that is why in the 85th verse, which I just now read out, Shankaracharya says that Jivan Mukta enjoys peace of mind because he doesn't have attachment to his own body, mind, sense complex. He doesn't have attachment to the family. Nyeya sa nitya sannyasi yona dveshti na kankshati. No, may you know that person to be a nitya sannyasi who is neither has any raga, that is no expectations, no hatred, no binding desires. So, even though he is a grihastha like Janaka, Janaka said, let the entire Mithila burn, I am not affected. That was his attitude towards his kingdom. That detached completely. But that does not mean that a jnani is irresponsible. Attachment is absent, that's all. As long as he is in the Grihastha ashrama, he is available, his services are available, he will help them. But he will not react emotionally to the pleasures and pains. He will continue to be as much part of the family, but playing his different roles as a father or a mother or a brother or a son or a daughter, whatever role that he has to play with in relation to his family members, he will continue to play those roles very well, knowing that this is only role playing I am doing. So the Jnani is not going to be a jadam, like an inanimate object, for the family. He will as much be involved in the family's affairs, but without getting attached to any of them. So he will have, vairagyam, mithyatva bhavana, like Chayavat, like the example of shadow we saw. He will have objectivity. He will in his mind, no, my family is not a special family. It is a part of this cosmic anatma, and I stand aside. I stand aloof as atma. So he fully accepts and understands that his family members, spouse, children, etc., all will have to go through their prarabdha, that he will only be a witness to that, and he will be ready for that. A jnani will be ready for that. So whatever we discussed earlier, on Nididhyasanam, we have to recollect all of those things. We have to see all our family members and see them as Bhagavan's children. Bhagavan will give them karma phalam, positive, negative things will happen. I am ready for anything, and that whatever happens, I am ready. I am ready. That should be practiced. Not at the time of the difficult prarabdha, but even when things are going well, we have to practice this nitidhyasana. I am ready for all good things. I am ready for all bad things that happens in and around the family. But everybody has got karma. They have to go through it. I have to understand that everyone has got their own raga dvesha. Thus, jnanam and vairagyam alone will save a jnani. Many people give importance to jnanam. As I said, they come to Vedanta, study Vedanta for a long time. But when the issue of family comes, the detachment level is almost zero. So they complain, jnanam is there, worry is not gone, fear is not gone. So in order to transcend raga dvesha, vairagyam is a powerful weapon. And every day we need to pray what? Annapurne Sadapurne Shankara Prana Vallabhe Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartam Bhikshan Dehi Cha Parvati. Only two things you pray for in your life, Jnana, Vairagyam and Jnana. Nothing else. These two you pray, that is enough. Your life will be completely fulfilled. So, Vairagyam, detachment, is compulsory. There is no substitute for that. And a guru can only emphasize this much. Because there is always a risk if a guru is overemphasizing about detachment from children and sweet grandchildren, the students may get disturbed. In fact, they will get detached from attending the Vedanta classes. So, these things I cannot overemphasize, but remember, as long as attachment is there, worry and fear will never go away. A Jivan Mukta is free from worry and fear because he has practiced detachment from the Pancha Anatma. What are the Pancha Anatma? You must remember. We have discussed this. Body, mind, family, possession, profession. So whatever disadvantages are there because of the continuity of prarabdha, a jnani can handle that. Then the next point that we have to understand is what happens to a jnani when the prarabdham is exhausted. That of course Adi Shankara doesn't deal with it in Vivekachudamani, but that is important to understand to complete the discussion. So the jnani will continue to live in the body and the body will continue as long as prarabdham allows. And when all the prarabdham is exhausted, 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever be the period, when the prarabdham is exhausted, the body which survived because of prarabdham has to fall. It can happen anywhere. On a treadmill, it can happen. It can happen when he is sleeping. Therefore, till then, till the body falls, he was a Jivan Mukta. He was a Sadeha Mukta with body, embodied, liberated person. Now, once the body falls, so Sadeha Jivan Mukta becomes a Videha Jivan Mukta. So he from a jnani with body, he becomes jnani without body. So jnani gets liberated from his body also. And when the jnani becomes videha, not only the physical body goes away, but his subtle body also goes away. Why? Because there is no sanchita karma. His karana shariram, which holds the sanchita karma, also has to go away. Because sanchita karma, there is nothing, it's all empty pots. Sanchita karma has already got falsified. So therefore, if once there is no sanchita karma, there is no next set of prarabdha karma which will give him a next birth. So jnani avoids rebirth also. So Sanchita falsified, Agama doesn't arise, Prarabdha gone. Karma account becomes zero. And all the three bodies of Jnani resolve. There is nothing left to travel. And that is why, a sannyasi Jnani's body is not given to Agni Devata. Two reasons. Sannyasi becomes Niragni at the time of sannyasa diksha. Because he is Niragni, well, when a person dies, why do we burn that body? We must understand that. What is the significance of burning the body? Of course, one significance is that the body will rot and so you burn it, fire will destroy all those things. But then other people, they bury the body also. Why can't we bury? Our religion believes that our three bodies, physical body, the Stula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira, we have gained because of our prarabdha karma, because of our karmas. Okay, not to say this janma, it is prarabdha karma. And who has given this karma? I mean, who has given this? Bhagavan has given. Ishvara has karma phala data. He has actually handed out these things. So when the use of these things are completed, what we should do? Should we not return this back to Bhagavan? So that Bhagavan can do whatever he needs to do, looking at the karma account of the jiva. So we need to return. Physical body we cannot return. But we have to return the subtle body, Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira. How do we return it to Bhagavan? In fact, in our culture, all offerings to Bhagavan are done through what? Through fire. Fire is the courier service. Agni Devata is the courier service which takes whatever we offer to Bhagavan to the respective Bhagavan. Whether we offer it to Prajapati, whether we offer it to Varuna Bhagavan, wherever, to whomsoever, whatever we offer it to the fire and fire takes it to the respective Devatas. This is our Shastras say. So when we have to hand over our Sukshma Sharira and Karna Sharira back to Bhagavan, it has to be offered through fire, through Agni Devata. So we pray to Agni Devata. Thank you very much, Agni Devata. I got this. So please accept this and give it back to Bhagavan. So that the Sukshma Sharira, based upon the Punya Papa stored in the Karana Sharira, so Bhagavan will receive both the Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira. He will look at the Karana Sharira, hard disk, where all these Punya Papa are stored, and he will say, okay, which Prarabdham is now maturing for the next body. So he will then decide, okay, now this jiva needs to take this particular body. For that he requires this. So that is why we burn the body. That is why we cast the body into fire so that the Sukshma and Karana Sharira can be returned to Bhagavan. So these are all aside thoughts which just come in my mind when we are talking about this. And that is why a sannyasi's body, there is nothing to return. It is all completely, Bhagavan has said, now Mukta, you are completely freed from all this rebirth. You don't give it back to me. Go and put it in the junkyard. That is why a sannyasi jnani's body we bury, we don't burn that body. And that is why when taking sannyasa diksha, he becomes a niragni. He has no connection with Agni any longer. So, in the case of an Ajnani, when the body resolves, it is called Antakala. Antakala means only relating to the body. Huh? It is not Antakala for Sukshma and Karana Sharira. Whereas in the case of Jnani's death, it is called Parantakala. All three, Stula, Sukshma, Karana Shariram, all three are resolved. And therefore, the Jnani as though merges into Ishvara from the Vyavaharika angle, and Jnani as though merges into Brahman from Paramarthika angle. That means what? The individual Stula Shariram merges into Virat, the total Stula Shariram. The individual Sukshma Shariram merges into Hiranyagarbha, the total Sukshma Shariram. Individual Karana Shariram merges into Antaryami, the total Karana Shariram. Now, don't ask me these new words. You refer to your Tattva Bodha notes. All these things I have explained there. And the individual Chidabhasa, which is what? Which is the reflected consciousness. That merges into total Chidabhasa of Ishvara. Therefore, from the Anatma angle, Jnani merges into Ishvara. From the standpoint of Atma, the enclosed consciousness, the reflected consciousness, as though merges into the unenclosed, all-pervading consciousness. And the best example to understand is, we have a pot and the pot is broken. What happens? As long as the pot existed, there was a pot space and an outside space. We can call it an enclosed space and non-enclosed space. When the pot is broken, the enclosed space also becomes non-enclosed or unenclosed total space. Similarly, when the Jnani becomes Videha, Atma Chaitanyam merges into Brahma Chaitanyam. We are forced to use verbs like merges, etc. There is no physical movement involved, from the part, if you say part space merges into total space, there is no physical movement involved. Space doesn't move and join. No change also, no transformation, nothing happens. So we should understand the merger when we say must be within inverted commas. Some of the movies and all we have seen, the Atma will just go travel and go into Bhagavan and it will merge and all nonsense. From a spiritual point of view, spirituality point of view, from a seeker point of view, we must understand what exactly all this moksha is about, merger is about and all that. Of course, this is again Advaita Vedanta angle. If you go to the other philosophies, including Visishta Advaita and all, they will talk about traveling to different loka and then merge into Vishnu and all that. I am not getting into that. I am only saying from Advaita Vedanta point, from the point of view of our Vedanta scriptures, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, we must understand what this merger means. There is no physical merger. It's a as though merger. Because even when you get the Jnanam, what is the Jnanam? The seeming division between Atma Chaitanyam and Brahma Chaitanyam caused by the Sharira Trayam is what? we call Jiva and Ishvara, right? When the Sharira Trayam is gone, there is no, the Jiva is Ishvara only. Just like the space, I mean, part space and total space is a very good example. So Jnani becomes Videha, Mukti continues, and he becomes a Videha Muktaha. He gets Videha Mukti. Now there will be a question. When you say Jnani attains Videha Mukti, question is, he gets Mukti or freedom from what? Jivan Mukti we can explain. Freedom from emotional and intellectual samsara, etc. It's already got. So Videha Mukti is freedom from what? Because intellectual and emotional samsara has already gone. What we say is, since the Videha Mukta Jnani does not have any karma, he does not acquire another physical body in the form of Punarjanma. So, Jivan Mukti is freedom from emotional and intellectual samsara. Videha Mukti is a freedom from Punarjanma, which is also one of the features of samsara. Samsara has got three features: emotional problems, intellectual problems, and Punarjanma. Two of them are removed at the time of Jivan Mukti. The last one, the Punarjanma. That's why samsriyate iti samsara. Born again, I mean, traveling again and again and again. That's what Punarjanma is. So freedom from rebirth is what the Videha Mukta Jnani attains. This is the Videha Mukti Phalam enjoyed by a Jnani. Of course, this is not mentioned anywhere, but we have to understand all these aspects. And Shankaracharya now makes a very important observation with regard to Prarabdham in the verses, next three verses, 97, 98 and 99. And it is very important. The second observation is very, very important. We will read verse number 97. Upadhi tadatmya vihi na kevala brahmatmanaivatmani tishtato mune प्रारब्ध सद्भाव कथा न युक्ता स्वप्नार्थ संबंध कथेव जाग्रत है. Yeah. So the Anvaya is Upadhi Tadatmya Vihina Kevala Brahmatmana Iva Atmani Tishtataha Munehe Prarabdha Sadbhava Katha Na Yukta Jagrata Swapna Artha Sambandha Katha Iva. Upadhi Tadatmya Vihina Kevala Brahmatmana Iva. In the form of the non-dual Brahman, free from identification of the Upadhis. So Upadhi Tadatmya Vihina means free from identification with the Upadhis. Kevala means in the form of Brahmatmana Iva, in the form of, Kevala means non-dual. So Kevala Brahmatmana Iva means in the form of non-dual Brahman. Atmani, in the self. Tishtate munehe, for the sage who remains. Prarabdha sadbhava katha, the talk of existence of prarabdha na yukta is not proper. Jagrata hai, for the waker. Swapna artha sambandha katha iva, like the talk of connection with objects in the dream. A very, very important observation for us to understand. So what he's saying is, the existence of prarabdha for the sage or a jnani who remains in himself as non-dual Brahman, free from identification with the upadhis, is not proper. It is like talking of connection for the waker with the dream objects. So, as I said earlier, we have to understand this prarabdha karma issue from two angles. One is from the standpoint of ajnani, laukika standpoint. That is what we have seen in detail in the last couple of classes. Now, Shankaracharya turns his attention to the study of prarabdham from Shastric angle, Shastriya drishti. And a jnani is one who has got Shastric vision. And therefore, it becomes important to study a prarabdham, to study prarabdha karma from a jnani's angle. So earlier we saw ajnani drishti, now we will see jnani drishti. So jnani drishtya, what is the story of prarabdham? What was the previous answer? Answer was jnanam does not destroy prarabdha. Therefore, prarabdham continues to exist. This was the previous answer from a ajnani drishti. Now, the essence of answer that Acharya is going to give is, even though jnanam doesn't destroy prarabdha, jnanam makes prarabdham mithya. Well, what is jnanam? Brahma satyam jagan mithya. Nothing exists other than Brahman, and that Brahman I am. Atma satyam tad anyat sarvam mithya is the jnanam. The entire universe is understood as mithya by the jnani. Therefore, the Pancha Atma, which we just now talked about, is also understood as mithya by jnani. My body, mind, family, possession, professions, all are mithya. Their attributes are also mithya. All anatma is mithya. Their attributes, the doership, kartritvam, bhoktritvam, enjoyership, everything is mithya, and that is the understanding of jnani. So when kartritvam is mithya, it never exists. What about sanchita agami prarabdha? When kartritvam itself is not there, there will be no karma phalam. No karma and no karma phalam. So karmas are mithya, karma phalam is mithya. Of course, the sanchitam and agami are non-appearing mithya, because both of them are sublated or falsified or avoided by a jnani. They do not appear for a jnani. Therefore, they are non-appearing mithya. Whereas the body, mind and prarabdha continue to appear. But the jnani understands that they too are mithya. So what appears is mithya prarabdhan alone. For an ajnani, prarabdham is existent. For an ajnani, prarabdham is satyam. Whereas a jnani looks at prarabdham as mithya. That means it does not have an existence of its own. It appears, but it is as good as non-existent. Like the mirage water, mirage. Or like the movie upon the screen. Movie characters appear, but they are as good as non-existent. From the standpoint of the screen, they are as good as non-existence. And that's why Krishna says in the Gita, Mastani sarva bhutani, nacha matstani bhutani. From an appearance angle, prarabdham exists. From a factual angle, prarabdham is non-existent. It is like a dream. It does not have existence of its own. Even the easiness, when we say prarabdham ease, the easiness of the prarabdham I alone lend. I means the Atma, the existence principle. Therefore, from Shastriya Drishti, from a Jnani's angle, from an Atma's angle, prarabdham is also as good as destroyed. Thus, from a Jnani's angle, Sanchita is destroyed, Agami is avoided, and prarabdham is as good as destroyed. Therefore, Jnani does not give overly importance to the appearing prarabdha. We'll continue in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari
Harihi Om Shri Guru Yo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
धन्यवादः
Thank you. Thank you.
गुरुपूर्णिमा
Thank you, Guru.
नमस्कारः
Namaskar.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om. Guru Purnima wishes you, Guruji.
Same to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Girish ji.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om.
Humble pranams and prostrations to you
Thank you.
for taking us in the spiritual path. And as a torchbearer, you are guiding us to be a good human being. God bless. And my question is, so from the last couple of weeks, what I understand is life itself is mithya.
Yes. From a
Life
Jnani's
itself.
point of view.
Okay. Okay.
You have to understand from which point of
Angle.
we are talking.
Okay.
Which angle we are talking.
Okay.
From our angle as Ajnani, life is real.
Correct.
From a Jnani's point of view, life is mithya.
Okay.
Because Jnani understands he was never born.
Okay. Okay.
He has always existed. He is eternal existence. There is all this body, mind, sense complex around mithya. They are appearing, but they are not real. Isn't it so? Life itself is mithya. All things we do are mithya only, rather.
And experience also. So-called experience.
Everything. That's also, only truth, only thing which exists is Brahman alone. That's it.
Now, when we call Brahman is also the synonym of God, Paramatma,
Saguna
and
Brahman.
whatever.
Yeah.
Saguna Brahma. Okay. Okay.
That we call Saguna Brahman, Nirguna Brahman. The reality is Nirguna Brahman only. But
Correct.
who has
Correct.
created this Saguna Brahman? We have created, isn't it?
Yeah, to reach there.
To reach there, to Nirguna Brahman. So the path is first you understand what is Saguna Brahman. So
Correct.
once you understand that, then you will be able to bypass that name and form and reach Nirguna Brahman. That is the route.
Correct.
So that way Saguna Brahman is also Mithya.
Yes. Yes.
Only thing Satyam is Brahman. Nirguna
Yeah,
Brahman never Satyam.
but one cannot digest it if it is being told at a early stage, unless.
When you don't study the scriptures and understand what the scriptures are saying, isn't it?
Correct. Correct.
The scientists can tell you there is a black hole somewhere, right? You look at the sky, you don't see any black hole.
Correct.
How can he say? Scientist has studied, he has done research, then he understands there is a black hole. He might not have even seen the black hole, honestly speaking. But because of his scientific knowledge, the calculations and all, he is sure that certain things which he is observing happening in the universe are caused by a phenomenon called a black hole. That is his understanding. Correct? Which we will not understand at all. We'll say, what is the answer? He say black hole and all. Black hole means what? We will all go into a dark tunnel or what and all. Such questions we Agyanis will ask. scientific Agyanis, right? But for a
Right.
scientist, that is a Jnanam. Similarly, we will ask all these questions, very difficult to digest. That is why Advaita Vedanta, which is what is the teaching of the Upanishads, people find it extremely difficult to accept it. Only very few people accept or they are able to understand what exactly this means. Very difficult.
Very, very.
But then there are people who have understood. Whether they have studied Shastra or not, they talk Vedanta. This truth is talked by all Gyanis rather. So that means what? There are people who have seen the truth, who have understood the truth. So they are talking. So for us, that is also there. I mean, that's also an example or a reference point. If everything is false, then these people, on what basis they are talking about Mithyatvam and all that? No, that's it for us to contemplate on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, Srikanji.
Guruji, my question is regarding the uh, uh, we talked about uh, body being burnt and the subtle body traveling. Is it that must be related
Breaking, voice is breaking.
with the
Voice is breaking.
and the
Your voice was breaking. I couldn't hear what you said.
should the burning of should the burning of the body are you able to hear me better now?
Yeah.
Guruji, is it better now?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Actually, my question is, should we relate to the burning of the body at the time of death to Panchagni Vidya of Chandogya Upanishad? Because it's burnt and it becomes one of the Agnis and then travels.
Well, I'm not very sure about that because the Panchagni Vidya involves lot more things, right? Body is only one aspect of it. Here, what we have to understand is when we have to return something to Bhagavan, which Bhagavan has given, that return can be done through Agni. That's all, right? So that is why we burn the body. That much was what we have to understand and not get confused with, whether Nachiketa Agni or Panchagni of Chandogya. Let's not get confused with that. It's a very simple thing. If you want to return something to any devata or make any offering to any devata, we offer it through this, including our pitris. When we do Shraddham, when we are offering the pindam, etc., to the pitris, we offer it through Agni Devata. And then we pray Agni Swaha, Prajapate Swaha. So then we offer ghee, etc., as oblation to the Agni Devata for as fees. We pay the fees for courier service, that we offer ghee and samit, etc., for the Agni Devata. And then we will take a sankalpa, okay, this pindam or this rice I am offering to my pitre, my grandfather, my father, like that, we'll put it in the Agni Dev. So Agni Devata will take that essence and deliver it wherever it is to be delivered. And that is why, for a grihastha, Agni Karyam are very, very important. The Shraddham and all people do, this Hiranyam and all that, Shastra permits Hiranya Shraddham only when a person is unable to perform a Shraddham. Now, today, even if I have to go to office at 8 o'clock, I say I am unable to perform the Shraddham. That is all artificial inability. What Shastra says is naturally. Suppose you are very sick, you are not supposed to take bath. right? On those circumstances, you can do Hiranya Shraddha. Because Pitru will understand that you can't take bath, Shuddhi will not be there. So if you are very sick and all that, but you want to perform the Shraddha, get to priests, just wash your face and hand and all that, and you can do the Shraddha. But today what has happened? Hiranya Shraddham, nothing reaches to the Pitris. You are just giving some, rice and to another human being in whom Pitri has been, Avahanam has been done. But that is not Agni Devata. It won't reach the Pitris. Only our mental satisfaction we are doing it. And now that has become a rule. In fact, performing Shraddham with Homam and all has become an exception.
Yeah.
Hiranya Shraddham has become a rule. So these are Kali Yuga Lakshana. But we can't comment on all those things. But that is the fact. Without Agni, you cannot offer anything to any other than human beings. Human beings you can give. Any other Adrishta powers which are there, and it includes the Pitris also, Agni has to be involved. We can't directly transfer them. Anyhow, these are all long discussions, nothing to do with Vedanta. As I said, it just a thought occurred in my mind, so I just mentioned it. Because the point is, why a Jnani sannyasi, his body is not cast in.
It's only buried.
It is only buried. Why? That's why I just wanted to explain that, thing. But two reasons. One is at the time of Sannyasa Diksha, he becomes Niragni. That is, he gives up his association with Agni. Correct? So that time itself is supposed to, because you are traveling towards Jnanam, even if he is Agyani, he has taken Sannyasa Diksha, and Sannyasa Diksha should be taken only for the purpose of study of scriptures and gaining Jnana. So since he has already made a sankalpa towards that, Shastra permits him to give up the Agni karma. Till such time he cannot give Agni. As long as he is a grihastha, wearing this sacred thread, he can't give up Agni karma. Tuft and sacred thread are the two indications of a grihastha. As long as he has that, he has to perform Agni karma right from morning till night, even till evening rather. So that is the ordainment of the Shastra. And at the time of Sannyasa Diksha, he removes his tuft, he removes his sacred thread also, and he says Tata bye bye to Agni. And that's why a sannyasi, Jnani sannyasi, he is not cast in Agni. Because of sannyasa, Agni relationship is gone. But the other point is, as a grihastha, when the Sukshma Sharira, Karna Sharira have to travel and take another body. Travel means what? We say that it is basically we return it to the person who has leased it. Like we lease a car and then we will go and give it back to the dealer, and he will give the car to somebody else. So like that we have to return it to Bhagavan, who is the karma phala data. So that returning has to do through Agni only, with all mantras and things like that and all. All these Anteshti mantras are all meaning that only. Thank you very much, I am returning these things to you. Since this physical body is there, I am burning it in the same Agni only. That will not come back to you. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, all those mantras say all those things. That we have to understand why we do that.
And also, Jnani's body is buried, and after burying, you put a Shivalingam or something like that, so that everybody
Some
can get
indication
the
that some indication is put so that here rests a body of a Jnani. It is like a temple, right? It's like a temple, so people should come and pay respects. You can visit the Jnanis, that whatever you can call, and pay respect, do puja. All that you can do, because Jnani is Ishvara. We see Jnani as only Ishvara. So you do all that you can do in a temple, you do to that, grave of the Jnani, rather, where he is buried. That's what it is. Yeah.
Very nice, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Hari Om. Okay. Any other question? I hope. Yeah, Srikanth answered. Thank you very much. We'll meet next week. Hari Om.
धन्यवादः
Hari
गुरुजी.
Om Guruji, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hari.
Thank you,
Hari
Guruji.
Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.